Quebec 4, Sierra Whiskey Romeo.
Roger, Sierra Whiskey Romeo, and what's the name there?
Roger, Sierra Whiskey Romeo, and what's the name there?
My name is Gary, Golf Alpha Romeo Yankee, and I have you in Virginia at a 5-7 with excellent audio.
Thank you, Gary, and you say you're in Virginia?
Thank you, Gary, and you say you're in Virginia?
That is correct.
Alrighty, and what radio set you're running?
Yesterday.
Alrighty, and what
I
radio
was
set you're
wondering
running?
if I could get a radio check and get that YouTube address where I can listen to the voice.
Roger that. First, though, what radio is that you're running?
Roger that. First, though, what radio is that you're running?
I'm on an FTDX-10, and I have a high microphone, Papa Romeo 77 Delta.
All right, Gary, why don't you give me about 10 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, and I'll see if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
I'll see if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
Roger. My name is Vernon. Multi-band antenna. R6000. Multi-band antenna. It does 6, 10, 12, 15, and 17. I'm on a 40-meter dipole that I made out of some 10-gauge wire for 40 meters, and that's what I'm talking on at the present time.
Roger, Gary. Okay, so probably if you're interested, we could do a little setup on that radio. First thing would be to make sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. Are you familiar with that?
Transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. Are you familiar with that?
The bandwidth?
It's called TBW, transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. You're not familiar with that, why don't you jot down a note to check that out. Check your TBW, transmit bandwidth. It should be 100 to 2900, and that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So you want to be in that wide mode, 100 to 2900, Roger?
You want to be in that wide mode, 100 to 2900, Roger?
100 to 2900. So that's a pretty big spread. How do I know if, I guess to say I'm in somebody else's yard?
Well, that's what it is. That's what it safeguards from preventing you from being into somebody else's conversation. It gives you just a little slice of daylight there before you are. So 100 to 2900, and you might make note of that. Transmit bandwidth wide, it's called wide, 100 to 2900. And, you can just make note of that and follow that up in your book, Roger.
To make note of that and follow that up in your book, Roger.
Roger. Transmit bandwidth. Is that going to be? Are you familiar with the face of an FTDX-10?
Not specifically, but I'm pointing out that it does have provisions. I'm sure that's a modern radio, the FTDX-10, and it usually, like ICOM gives you three selections for your transmit bandwidth, and we recommend setting all of those to 100 to 2900. So, just grab your book there at some time later and set that transmit bandwidth to 100 to 2900. It's called wide, and it lets your transmitter perform as best it can, and then gives you just a slice of daylight to avoid getting into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
To avoid getting into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
TBW, transmit bandwidth 100 to 2900, and it's called wide.
That's right, sir. So let's move on with this setup. We now go to your compressor processor, and I think you're pretty hot on your compressor processor. What we want to do is set that compressor processor on, and a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor, Roger?
10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor, Roger.
For my particular processor, I believe it goes 1 to 10.
So then you would want to set it on 3. Set it on 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Roger, 30. 3 out of 10. Roger?
3 out of 10. Roger, 30. 3 out of 10. Roger.
This processor counts from off to 100. I just screwed it up, and right now it's set on 50.
Okay, so set it on 30. Set it on 30. 30 out of 100. Roger, Roger.
30. Set it on 30. 30 out of 100. Roger, Roger.
30 out of 100. That's it. That's where it is.
Alrighty, then move to your ALC with the mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, don't stress it, just say the word, elongate the front of it, and you become a human test generator. But audio, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first.
Is running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first.
Audio. It's set on 7 right now as we are talking.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, pop your compressor off, your compressor processor. Just turn it off for the moment.
Your compressor processor, just turn it off for the moment.
Okay, the processor is off.
Okay, and now what I want you to do is key your transmitter, but don't talk for about 3 seconds. Just key up and silently for about 3 seconds.
Just key up and silently for about 3 seconds.
Okay, so you have interesting. Make sure that your compressor processor. Okay, so and you've got it turned off. Are you sure you've got that compressor processor turned off?
You've got it turned off. Are you sure you've got that compressor processor turned off?
PROC level off.
Okay, so you're really hot, and I can't figure out why. So take your mic gain. What's your current mic gain setting now?
All right, so take your mic gain. What's your current mic gain setting now?
Mic gain is set on 80.
Okay, take that down to 40. Take your mic gain down to about 40, Roger.
Take your mic gain down to about 40, Roger.
Okay, the mic gain is down to 40.
Okay, take it to 50. Take it back up to 50.
Okay, take it to 50. Take it back up to 50.
Okay, it's up to 50. 50, 50.
Just 50. Make it 50, Roger.
Just 50. Make it 50, Roger.
Okay, make it 50. 50 it is.
All right, and then take your compressor processor off. Turn it off. See if we can make some sense of what's going on here. Dump your compressor processor off, Roger.
Dump your compressor processor off, Roger.
Processor is off.
Okay, now key up for about 3 seconds. Don't say anything. Just key for 3. Roger.
About 3 seconds. Don't say anything. Just key for 3. Roger.
Yeah, that's a lot better there. Why don't you, if you would, why don't you tell me about your antenna system again there for about 10 seconds.
Antenna system again there for about 10 seconds.
The antenna that I'm on now is a dipole that I made with some wire, 10-gauge wire, and just the end that I can screw the coax cable to, and it's on a 15-foot surf rod with the end off the ground, and I've got some stakes that you use to put on your tomato plants to keep your tomato plants upright when they grow. Well, each end is tie wrapped to a stake stretched out into the widest V that I could make it.
Roger that. Do you know where your equalization page is? Your tone control page on that radio?
Your tone control page on that radio?
The mic EQ?
Yeah, but it's not in the mic, right? It's in your radio, Roger?
Yeah, but it's not in the mic, right? It's in your radio, Roger?
Yes, I have the mic. I chose not to use, this is a new radio. I've only had it for a couple months. I chose to go with the standard setup for mic and did not use the mic EQ where it's got the high, low, and mid-range that you can adjust.
All right, so let's see. I want to go back and work on that compressor processor just a little bit. So you say that the escutcheon on that input control for your compressor processor is 0 to 100. Is that a Roger?
Is 0 to 100. Is that a Roger?
That a Roger? If you give me a minute, I will look this up. It'll take me just a second here to try to pull what I have up in the book that I have. I'm trying to pull that out as we speak. I'm still searching. Give me a second.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, and we're talking to Gary in Virginia now. He's working on his FTDX-10.
Working on his FTDX-10.
Yes, that is the knob that you turn. It says to press the function knob, and a bunch of, things that you can change comes up on the screen. Then it says to touch the PROC level. And there, I believe, is the speech processor. I believe that's what I'm looking at. And go to the compression meter and push the torque, adjust the function knob to set the compression level within 10 dB.
Well, it's got a input control, doesn't it? 0 to 100 input control for the input to the compressor processor?
Input control for the input to the compressor processor?
When you go to that compressor processor level, right now it's off. And if you turn it on, it goes from off to 100.
Yeah, we'll just leave it off. We're not asking too much out of that compressor anyway, so we'll just leave that off. And if you would, maybe we'll go to that equalization page, the equalizer, tone control, Roger.
The equalizer, tone control, Roger.
I'll tell you what, why don't you take some notes, take a couple of notes there. It might be better. Then you can just crank it in at your leisure when you find out how to get to certain places.
Crank it in at your leisure when you find out how to get to certain places.
I didn't use that because I'm not really that familiar with the radio. It's got more stuff in it than I know what to do with. I've only had it since Black Friday. Got a good deal on it from my neighborhood candy store, ham radio outlet in Woodbridge, Virginia. Give them a shout out because they always treat me right there. But that's about it. Right now I've got it set on the standard out of the box, set on the talk, and the mic EQ is not on.
Mic EQ is off or is not off?
Mic EQ is off or is not off?
It is off. I'm using the standard setup.
Okay, well, when you get a chance, you need a little more top end for intelligibility. So that means that you need a treble boost. You need some treble boost in there to really accentuate your syllabic range so folks can hear a little clearer what you're saying. So that means you would raise your articulation level. And if we're not using your compressor, we would just be using your standard EQ controls, and you would do a +4 on treble EQ, and you can just take notes of this. +4 on your treble EQ, you'll be +4 on your treble EQ, and you'll be flat on your mids, flat on your mid-range, ±0, flat or off. And then on the bottom side would be just where you have it now. The bottom side, the bass frequency will be just equalized just like it is now. So you only have to consider two things. And this would not be your P controls since you're not in the processing mode. So you would be doing making sure that your treble EQ is flat or off. And then on your mid-range flat or off, and your treble will be +4 from where you are, +4 clicks additional from where you are at the moment. Roger?
4 clicks additional from where you are at the moment. Roger?
Roger. I have the EQ on now, and I'm trying to go to the section where it shows you the frequencies.
Roger, Roger. Well, you just advance your treble control. Make sure you're not on the P controls. Since we're not running the processor, you should have two sets of controls, one for P processor and one without. So we'll be adjusting the one without, and we'll go 4 clicks boost from on the treble control from where you are.
Boost from on the treble control from where you are.
I turn one on, and that is EQ2.
All right, that's your your mid-range control, and it should be off or flat on your mid-range equalizer. Roger.
On your mid-range equalizer. Roger.
Mid-range frequency is off.
Great. Okay, so then let's go to number 3 equalizer, which is a treble equalizer, I believe, and go 4 clicks boost on your treble EQ. 4 clicks boost on your treble EQ. 4 clicks hotter than where you are at the moment.
On your treble EQ. 4 clicks hotter than where you are at the moment.
I'm trying to find the
You sounded pretty good that last transmission.
Pretty good, that last transmission.
I'm trying to get to
I'll tell you, probably the easiest thing would be to take notes and then crank it in at your leisure. Roger?
any better.
Notes and then crank it in at your leisure. Roger.
Is this any better?
What did you do?
What did you do?
I've turned all of the bass, mid-range, and treble on.
Okay, then turn your mid-range off. Turn your mids off or flat, whichever comes first.
Turn your mids off or flat, whichever comes first.
Alright, the mids are off. That is EQ1. It says mid right over top.
Yeah, it should be mid EQ2. That's your treble control. It should be EQ2, I believe, and your treble is EQ3. So your mids are EQ2, and your treble is EQ3, I believe. And you adjust your treble to 4 clicks hotter than where you had it in the beginning.
4 clicks hotter than where you had it in the beginning.
I'm going to have to go to the section of the book and get back to this, because this, in this radio, it has 25 different adjustments, and it's not telling me whether it's bass or treble or wherever. I've got on one says parametric EQ3, frequency, level, and bandwidth. That's all in to 3.
Okay, so why don't you take some notes there, Gary, and I'll tell you about that compressor. Half of those are in the P control. That we would use those if we were in the processor. If we were running the processor, we would use the P controls for your equalization. But since we're not using the compressor processor, we're not using the P controls in your equalizer. So that's half of it that we're not working with. We're just working with the other 12 controls. So let's do the treble first. We want to go 4 clicks hotter level-wise, push 4 clicks hotter on the treble control. Roger?
4 clicks hotter on the treble control. Roger.
Okay, I'm going to try to get to that. I can't make heads or tails.
Is this frequency occupied?
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
40 meters. CQ40.
You're wasting your time, Jim.
40 meters.
Yeah, frequency is in use there, out there. Frequency is in use. Thanks. I think so. Gary, gosh, I've tried to give you some notes. That's what I'm only asking, that you take notes and, try to crank them in later, as opposed to trying to find something right now on the fly. Roger?
As opposed to trying to find something right now on the fly. Roger?
That's right. I need to do some more studying. Thank you for the help. I do appreciate that, and hopefully this is a little better. And I will spend some more time reading and studying on the EQ.
Roger there, Gary. Well, let me say 73 to you, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you wanted to hear the audio right now, it's not that far off, but it could use a little more top end. But if you want to hear it like it is now, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
A little bit slower. KC9.
Call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook.
9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook.
40 meters.
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo. Give me the last letter.
Victor Kilo Victor. KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. Victor Kilo Victor's the last 3 letters.
Followed by the word logbook. Victor Kilo Victor's the last 3 letters.
Thank you very much. It'll be on YouTube. Go to YouTube and put in Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by logbook, and it'll be number 1 in the series of how many?
It doesn't matter. There's 3,300, but this will be the one that you'll run across first. So, then you'll be able to see this one first in the list. Roger?
To see this one first in the list. Roger?
Roger. Will be uploaded
by noon tomorrow.
By noon tomorrow.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your time. It wasn't a complete waste, as I did learn something about the radio, and I'm going to have to get into the mic EQ. So again, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo. This is Kilo Quebec 4 Sierra Whiskey Romeo. Back to net.
Roger, Gary, and my call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. I repeat, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger?
9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger.
Roger. And that will be followed by logbook.
Yes, sir. On a YouTube search. Roger. 73 there. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.